Yo folks, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'll be covering my early impressions for Project NeuroCloud, not to mention the best units based off of the Selector. By the way, this video is sponsored. Don't worry, that won't sway my opinions. Links down in the description in case you guys are interested in playing the game. But let's jump right into this. Let's go into Explorer here, jump into gameplay and talk about the overworld really quick. So right here on the right hand side, this is going to be Fragment Search. This would be amazing because it allows any unit that you have to be max upgraded. All you have to do is increase their intimacy and complete the stages, which I think is really cool. Man, I feel like every feature or every game should have one of these features where you can max out units absolutely for free. And by the way, you get Croquet right here. She's the best defender in the game absolutely for free as well. And a lot of the 2-star units are going to be heavily viable. So don't like snuff them out. I think NeuroCloud is making ground as far as being a free-to-play PvE. And then over here is going to be the different chapters. You have chapter 2 right here, the cycle piece. We're going to go ahead and go into chapter 1. But chapter 1, we're going to be in endless mode. There's going to be like, your standard and dark realms. That's not really that important right now. What we want to do is showcase this. This is almost endless content in my opinion. And this is just you completing like the game. So in case you're like, Bork, is there going to be something to do in this game? Yes, it's going to be plenty of it. We're going to go ahead and confirm and do a retry. And we're going to show you how to select the support right here. Go into edit team. You're going to hit support slot. And the person I'm going to be selecting is Hubble because she does a lot of damage. We already have a healer and the defender. Croquet right here is absolutely amazing. And then we have Mai right here. She's going to be sitting on our backline. Let's go ahead and hit close and start the stages, and we'll walk us through on how everything works. So before we get right into this, you can select a different sections of the map. Here are going to be some buffs and multipliers that you can get. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the top sections because this is how we're going to get better buffs within the stages. The more difficult the stages, the better the buffs, right? And these tiles are very important. You can see you can deal more damage based off of this tile as long as you take out like the roadblocks and whatnot. So we're going to place our soul right here. And then here's going to be a way to release our auto skills immediately at the start of the battle. I think that's very important. And let's go ahead and do a battle start. By the way, we're on current layer 1. There's going to be 3 layers. So there's going to be a lot of content. Like I said, you can play this game almost infinitely and the stamina feels like it lasts forever in this game. So some of you might be wondering, this is auto chess style. Is there going to be any sort of like active gameplay that we can do in order to min-max certain things? By the way, here are going to be the buffs that we can select. We only get 1 buff, so not too complicated on this sections. And yes, there are going to be things that you can min-max. Our buff goes right here in case you guys want to read it, and we can do battle start. So one thing to note, you can teleport your units, and this is going to be a good way to deal with backline. And then you can see like this unit right here, Croquet, is really good at taunting, which is why she's one of the best 3-star defenders, if not the best defender. Not to mention she can keep herself alive quite well. And there we go, right? So these are also important things like the buffs that you select. Ideally, you're going for things that increase either your DPS or increase your healing. It's dependent on what kind of team you are building. Team compositions, whether it's more aggro, so you have like more DPS, like we have more snipers, or you have more healers, and therefore you should focus more on defensive. It's up to you at the end of the day. Just note there isn't a timer on this particular stage, but there's going to be other stages that do have timers. We're going to go ahead and select this battery right here. That's going to increase our skill procs right there. We have our ultimates on the right hand side that we can proc, so we're going to go ahead and do that, do the Hubble, and dang, we do the damage. All right, so the animations are relatively fast when you're on 2x speed. It's up to you whether you want to play in this mode or not. In my opinion, best bang for a buck. We're gonna go ahead and do this, get a 50% discount on our trading area. So some of you might be wondering, why didn't I select the heal? We can select the heal on this turn. And what's really nice though is if a unit passes out, they are not taken out of combat for the entire stage. They actually heal, like based on, and they revive themselves, which I think is a really nice feature comparative to other stuff. So Hubble did not make it through this stage, right? Even though she dealt the most damage. And we're going to hit tab to continue, get more heals and stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and select the shield buff and restore HP to 30% for all units. We're going to go ahead and leave. You can do like the extra like committed thing where you can deal some damage and get like the integrity coins. We'll cover what these do after we complete this stage. And then right here, you can see everyone got a little bit of a heal. So there's a lot of risk reward like managing within this game. And as much as I want to say like the gameplay is super in-depth but there's like definitely 5D chess going on right here where you're like, oh, I need to select this buff. I need to make sure like I'm proccing like these certain things at this particular moment. And if you play it on 1x speed, it's going to be a little bit slower. And I don't feel like the game flows fast enough for 1x speed, but in the end, I'm enjoying myself when it comes to this combat. So I'm going to show you what happens though, where you do not have like efficient placements. We're going to place our shielder right here and watch what happens where everything like goes mayhem, right? Like Soul did not have to walk all the way over here. That could have been a moment where she could have just ran up straight to a unit. And right here, we are just dying so quickly and it's just really inefficient. We use Soul and yeah, we're going to go ahead and just retry this stage, just so we can show you how like much of a difference placing our units in effective situations go, where we'll probably lose less HP. And I could trigger like Hubble's ult in order to be more efficient with this, but just notice how everyone is just not dying as much as before. It's just based off of placement. So those little things just really matter. And there we go, we complete the stage. Now, those coins, they can be used to reroll like these buffs that you get. So in case you don't like them, probability rerolled. And then we're going to go ahead and select this global buff. And I think we could use a little bit of a heal, so we can go ahead and do that. And we're going to leave. So there you go. Really cool stuff right there. Let's jump into the unit selector now that you know how in-depth the gameplay is. So over here, there's going to be the neural search. There's going to be a selector right here. I'm not sure if this is going to be available or not, but just note you get a guaranteed Hubble, Aki, or Nanaka. One of these three, I believe. You can also view the details on this, or actually you can get a bunch of different units right here, but just note they're guaranteed. So you can get Centaurasi, you can get Hubble, V, and Nanaka, Chauncey, Aki, Florence. Oh, that's a little ugly. I wish it was only like those three, because these three are like the best units in the game. If you get the other ones, it's going to be a little ugly. Let's talk about it. So Florence, she's going to be a phenomenal healer, but unfortunately she has to compete with Nanaka, who has AoE healing, and she can also deal amazing DPS, and she's an idol. Tough competition, but at the end of the day, Florence is a decent healer, and you can also run double healers, so these two pair well together, and they also deal decent DPS. Now, there doesn't make much sense to pick Evelyn because you have Croquet already, and Croquet is an excellent defender. And then when it comes to Banksy right here, even though she's a good specialist, like she can run around and deal certain damage, she also kills herself because she's running around the map and teleporting randomly. So it's not recommended, but her drip, she has best drip within the game in my opinion. And then we have Jin over here. Why isn't he regarded as like as good as Florence and Nanaka? His heals are based off of his ultimate, and that is just not going to be as efficient. Not to mention his heals are crit based as well. So there's just going to be a couple of things where you need a better kit or better understanding of this game in order to proc him as a healer. But if he's your husband and you like him, pick him. Don't listen to me, right? And then when it comes to V, she's going to be an excellent damage dealer. Just note she cannot crit, and that's because of her kit. But she's going to be a ranged physical DPS, which is really cool. The only one that can do it. And she's going to be great for certain allocations within the games. Chauncey, she's going to be the best DPS that you can select from this little like selector series. She can deal AoE DPS, the best of them. Her detriment is she scales down when you fight bosses because of her AoE DPS orientation. So in case you select her, just note she will not be the greatest for content that's related to bosses, right? Nanaka, best healer in the game. She has AoE healing. She's an idol. Her animations are fantastic. Easy pick. In case you don't get her from the other like 3-star guaranteed over here, in case that's available for us. And then Centaurasi, the tragic one, the maid. I really wanted to select her and main her. Just note, she's a 3-star unit, but a lot of her skills get blocked, so it doesn't make sense to use her. Like V is so much better, Jin is so much better, Banksy is so much better. Just because their skills don't get blocked, they can actually trigger. It's so unfortunate because she is a lovely designed waifu, but hopefully they fix her kit one day. That way she won't be in this situation where she can't properly trigger her skills and conduct her kit appropriately. So those are going to be my selections for the best units. In my opinion, in order, it's going to be Nanaka number uno, and then Florence, and then V, and then Chauncey. All right, that's for me. It's up to you what you want to pick. if I had the waifu vote, I'd definitely just go for V. She's number one in my heart because yeah, I love the way she looks in my opinion. But those are my tips, my early impressions so far of the game. Definitely worth a try, that is for sure. Huge thank yous to the dev for letting me try out the game and sponsoring today's video. Anyways, if you made it this far, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram in case you want to see workouts and what I do on the regular basis. Once we have 40k subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks again once so much to the devs. Links down in the description in case you want to support the channel and play the game yourself. And see you guys in the next one.